Night of the Living Dead is celebrating its 50th anniversary, and we are very, very proud of that as an accomplishment. My name is Russ Streiner. Early in my career, I was the producer, co-producer of Night of the Living Dead, a movie that some people have heard of.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
I met George Romero when he came to Pittsburgh in 1958. George came to see one of the shows that I was in. After the show was over, he came back and we talked for a short while and told me that he was working on a film and would I be interested in talking to him about playing a role in the film. And of course I was flattered. Of course I will be in your film. I'm a stage actor. But the film was called Expostulations. It was the first long-form film that George worked on, especially since he came to Pittsburgh. I was so interested in the production process. Not only did I perform the character role that he asked me to perform, he and I became friends, and I started to help out with the production. Then in 1962, George and I decided that maybe we should take a serious look at starting a film company, but we wanted to try commercial production, and we did. And as luck would have it, our company, The Latent Image, turned out to be pretty successful. Our very, very first commercial job was for the Buell Planetarium, and we had to create a rocket ship landing on the moon and taking off. And we pulled it off. It was so successful, the Buell Planetarium blew it up to 35mm film so it could be played in area theaters. But the desire always was to do long-form entertainment. The success of Night of the Living Dead, for me personally, has been a little bit surreal. It was a low-budget, black and white film. It was our first feature film. George Romero, John Russo, and a few others of us who got the fire going here in Pittsburgh, believing that we could actually make a feature-length film in Pittsburgh. To have that low-budget film be around 50 years later, I never expected it. Our group never expected it. And I'm very proud of the fact that we made the best film we could, but the public has judged it as a classic. In the case of Night of the Living Dead, where we weren't sure exactly what was going to come of the farmhouse we were in, it took a special circumstance to lead us to that house. The downside of that is the house did not have working plumbing. So we had to import water. Much of it was hand carried. I won't go into the gruesome details of working on a location that doesn't have working plumbing, but let's just say that it was very challenging. George was a very generous, caring, creative individual. As his reputation as a director grew, and he would meet fans at conventions and that kind of thing. If there were people waiting in line, George would be there until the last person got to meet him. And that was pretty emblematic of the kind of person that he was. He was caring, he was generous, he knew what he wanted. We, over 60 years, we did not always see eye to eye on everything, but the mutual respect that we had for one another brought us back to the core of the friendship, and I'm very proud to have been his friend and associate for 60 years.